What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. So 2023 is ending here in the next few weeks, and in typical fashion, we're going to start doing some of the end of the year statue related videos, you know, like year-end videos. And the first one is today. So today we're going to be talking about statues I regret buying in the in 2023. No collector can go, buy everything perfectly, have zero regrets. You're always going to regret something. And the regret is in a form of many things. One, statue just not as good as advertised, and you get it, and you're like, ugh, I regret buying this. And then, you end up selling it for a loss, or just accepting the fact that it's not that good as you hoped. There's statues that just don't fit like you anticipated. They're either too big or too small, so you regret buying it, or, you just had a different idea. So there's definitely a lot of ways someone can regret buying something, And so for me, some of the things I regret, if I go back and tell myself, there's like different types of regret. I regret paying $2,500 for Mara. I don't regret having her. I regret what I paid for her, because I see her on Facebook right now for $1,400. And I'm like, are you effing kidding me? $1,100 cheaper 4 months later. And I'm just like, oh, it's like I just got staked in the heart. It's really brutal right now in the secondhand market. I've seen this person just continually lowering their prices, and I'm like, $1,400. And in my opinion, it's the best J&D statue out there. It's better than that $3,300 Golden Wonder Woman, which I've seen in person, folks. It's better. But obviously, it's the hate of Amber Heard that's causing the resale value to really be bad on it. So I regret how much I paid for that. I don't regret owning it. I would buy it now for $1,400. I'd wait 4 months. I can't remember 100% if I bought this year, but if I go back, I would not buy Hulkbuster. Now, this is one of the best statues in my collection. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't look good down low. Look at what I'm viewing. That's my angle. The only way for me to view this good is if I'm literally sitting on the ground. So I don't like that. This needs to be displayed up high. It's also not an easy piece to move around. For the most part, I can move the majority of my statues. Only a few you can't move. Him, too heavy, too big. You need 2 people minimum, 2 buff warriors, or 6 Asian weaklings. You can't move Hulkbuster. Like, I actually did move Hulkbuster from there to there. It was extremely difficult. I'd recommend 2 to 3 people for him. Shockwave, Jetwing Optimus, those are probably the only ones in my collection I can't move, really. You have to, disassemble them. Anyways, I regret buying him for a few reasons. Not due to the detail or the epic factor. It's due to the size. It's too big. It doesn't scale with anything. It doesn't scale with 1/3. It doesn't scale with 1/4. It's the in-between. I hate the in-betweens because they look out of place. I want it to be a proper scale. I either make it true 1/4, like that. That's a true 1/4. Hulkbuster is 11 feet tall. It should be 32 inches tall. This statue's 32 inches tall, but slightly leaning forward. It's not standing up straight. Its legs are far apart. If you stand up straight, you remove the base, it'd be 32 inches. So that's a perfectly scaled Hulkbuster. This one is 38 inches tall, leaning forward. Standing up straight, it'd probably be 42 inches. So, as you can see, it's about 10 inches overscaled. Overscaled can be cool if everything's overscaled. Example, the Prime 1/3 DC line. It's all overscaled 1/3, but it looks good. Nothing goes with this. Not even the Iron Mans that they want to display with it. All the Iron Mans that are part of this line are underscaled, which drives me crazy. That's one reason I sold the Mark 7 1/4, which I bought the previous year, but that was a huge regret. I didn't like that statue. And when I tried to return it to the retailer, they told me no, even though they said they accept returns. They said just sell it. And it took me 9 months and a $400 loss to sell it. Thanks. Anyways, I regret buying this. If I could go back, I would not have bought it. And I'm trying to sell it now, and I'm hoping I can sell it. I would love to keep this if I could properly display it. but again, nothing really goes with it. Even the Queen Ironmans don't go with it because they'll look underscaled. So yeah, Hulkbuster's a regret for that reason. It doesn't look good down low. It's too big. It doesn't scale with anything. I regret buying PCS Vampirella. You know, I looked at her, I looked at that, and I tried justifying the cost difference to, you know, cheaping out, if you want to so call it, and getting this one instead. And I do like this one. However, come on. Masterpiece, folks. So I regret buying that for that reason. I should have never bought it. You know, I'm going to lose some money. You know, I used rewards in like a 15% off when I originally bought her. So I got her for like 700 something. I'm selling her for 750 shipped. It'll probably be 80 to 100 to ship. So I'm still out probably 150 bucks. So yeah, I would not have bought her. That's definitely a regret this year. Now, for the most part, folks, you know, I've been collecting for over a decade now. I've learned a lot over the years, and most of my mistakes occurred when I was a younger collector. You know, a lot of mistakes back then. Now I don't make nearly as many buying mistakes. There's definitely some statues that if I could, you know, immediately get my money back, of course I would. Others, definitely not. You know, I bought Galvatron, and I do like him. The detail's fantastic. However, I would prefer this not to be Transformers. I'd prefer it to be random movies, kind of similar to this, and have Transformers only top shelf. I don't truly need T4, even though I love the movie. You know, I think sticking to T1 and T3's, you know, fine. And in essence, it's also like T2. But imagine this. Pacific Rim, Gypsy Danger bust, and Gypsy Danger. Boom. Throw a Lita bust there. Lita bust with a Lita statue. And then, you know, I'd still have space for another movie statue right there. You know, trying to think what the heck else I could even put there. But yeah, just another movie statue. Just 3 different movies. Pacific Rim, Alita, and something else. Or, I mean, you don't have to put Alita there. You could put anything you wanted, but, you know, technically I could even do Warcraft in here. Warcraft with Pacific Rim. You know, although I do prefer Warcraft higher up. But I think, you know, now these won't sell, you know, so it's not easy to box them up. They won't sell, so I'm not looking to really sell them. I'm just going to accept this is what I've chosen. You know, and you have to accept that in your collection. Nothing can truly ever be whatever. But yeah, if I could go back, probably wouldn't have bought Galvatron. I definitely wouldn't have bought the Bumblebee statue, although I think that was the prior year. But the Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie, that's a huge regret. I lost a lot of money on that one. A lot. I hugely regret that Bumblebee movie statue. No other regrets in here. Now, I know a lot of you didn't like this statue in the video, and I mean, it's really due to the damage issues, you know, the fact the base is like, I can literally put my finger that much under, you know, and just so many issues. Now, I don't regret this statue, but I regret the issues. Now, I'm still working with the seller on coming up with a resolution, you know, so it's either going to be a replacement or a full refund, simply because the statue is ruined. You know, there is no value in this statue anymore. And if, you know, I have to keep it, I'm just going to apply blood to his head. You know, because it's a very bloody statue, blood there. I mean, literally holding a severed head. So I'll just apply blood there. And there. And there. You know, nothing I can really do about this. I mean, I thought maybe of, you know, doing a hair dryer and putting some weight on this, like some bags, almost like sandbags, and doing a hair dryer for like an hour, thinking maybe it could flatten the base out. I don't know. What do you guys think of that idea? I don't regret this statue, though, because I love this statue. I think it's amazing. It scales good. Like, it's a Prime 1 scale. It has great details from a great video game series, you know, Gears of War. So I don't necessarily regret this statue. It just sucks I have issues. You know, so there's not really a regret there. I regret buying Bruce Lee bust. If I go back, I wouldn't have bought it. You know, my brother came over and we were talking about the Bruce Lee bust situation. And this is what he said, because he loves Bruce Lee. He's huge into martial art movies. He's the one that got me into it. He's my oldest brother, Shark Fat. Yeah, that's literally his nickname, Shark Fat. And he just told me, he's like, why would I want to be looking at some Chinaman? He's like, yeah, Enter the Dragon's a cool movie, but there's much cooler, you know, kung fu movies. But he's just like, why would I want to be looking at some Chinaman when I could be looking at something like this, or Kratos, or, you know, these video game statues? You know, and so, you know, that there's definitely some truth to that. You know, like, I mean, Bruce Lee's a legend. I mean, he started the whole martial arts industry, but, you know, he definitely has some valid points there. Just not a cool statue to look at. At the end of the day, it really is just some Chinese, you know, guy. You know, when there's just, I'd much rather look at a nemesis, a giant zombie creature. I just think it looks cooler. You know, no disrespect to Bruce Lee. I love him, but it just doesn't work good for me in statue form, you know. So I regret it for those aspects. The detail's great, 1/3's great, but it's also extremely out of place and just doesn't look as cool, you know. I'd rather look at Vegeta or something else that's cooler looking. You know, I've made a lot of Dragon Ball Z mistakes over the years, for sure. But I don't have any regrets this year in Dragon Ball Z. I didn't buy any MK statues. You know, I actually had the opportunity to buy the Noob Saibot, you know, the waitlisted. I waitlisted it, but I just don't have space. And I think the only thing I'll eventually sell MK-wise, those two, lower the 2 busts, and do a Shao Kahn on throne 1/3 in the middle. I would do that. That is something I would definitely consider. You know, just removing the 2 busts, lowering them, selling those. Shao Kahn on throne 1/3. Boom. I would do that. I've also thought, should I consider getting more 1/10 scale MK and throwing them back here? Although this, you know, display is already really full, and those 1/10s are getting real pricey nowadays. Yeah, so let me think what else I regret in this room. You know, and obviously I've sold, you know, statues, you know, that I regret buying. So, if you ever see me sell a statue immediately, it's because I regret buying it, usually. You know, but, yeah, that's where Dante's at, by the way. I don't have lighting in this shelf, which sucks. It's pretty difficult to run a light over here, though. You know, due to the placement, I mean, I'd have to run a... Right there, I could run it. You'd see the cable, and I have to run up, down there, up here, and do one light in here. I'll have to think about it. I could probably get one light in there. But yeah, overall, I think I did pretty good this year in terms of having the least amount of regrets. You know, but I think if I was to make this video any other year, there would be a lot more regrets, especially when I first started collecting. You know, you just make so many mistakes. You don't know what direction you're going, and you're just buying everything, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I need to, then it's all of a sudden it's super cluttered, and all your money's gone. So, yeah, definitely a lot of regrets back then. For me now, I think things are going good. I have a real direction for the collection, or just a few areas where I'm just kind of like, you know, Prime 1 Predator, for example. I'm still like, do we sell my Predator line over there, move P1 over there, and, you know, go that route? Or do we just get Berserker and Wolf and have them as mid-room shelves and have that as its own separate, more true 1/3 scale, you know, how I had it before? Now, that's something I'm trying to consider. I kind of feel like that is the route I might take, is instead just do mid-room shelves, and hopefully eventually, if the wife ever agrees, I take over our guest bedroom and throw the Prime 1 Predators all there on the back wall, remove that TV and some garbage shelves. I could fit all 3 Prime 1 Predators, get posters of each. Boom, just make that like a Predator guest room. Imagine that. Maybe someday. So that's kind of one big reason I want to go down the Prime 1 Predator line, at least those 3, my main favorite 3. even if I have to display them here, I think eventually I'll be able to convince the wife to allow me to put them upstairs. Anyways, folks, that's pretty much it for the regrets for this year. So in terms of other videos I'm going to be making, so obviously you got to do a year-end room tour to have one. And we'll do that, you know, like the last day of the year. We're going to talk about the top 10 best statues I bought, top 10 life-size busts. You know, I'm confident about more than 10 busts. I had a lot of busts this year. You know, so we'll do those. And we'll do a few other videos. You know, we'll make it a surprise and so forth. Might do some other... You know, I posted that live the other day with Collectors Enabled. Originally, that was only going to be on their channel, but I saw the ability to do it on mine, so I was like, hey, what the heck? So I posted that up. You know, if I ever join their channel again, I will, you know, post it on my channel as well like before. And let me know what you guys think. Do you like these lives, or do you just prefer me to do my own thing? In terms of statues that will be arriving, I'm hopeful, fingers crossed, that Khaleesi bust, Bell bust, Thor bust all arrive, potentially one DBZ statue, and that's it. That is all that's on the, you know, potential arrival for this year. Anyways, folks, that is it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know some of your regrets this year, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.